what's happening. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm building out the outermost layer, which is going to be each letter in the order list, so the 0 all the way to Z. And the way that I'm doing it is first I'm going to kind of recreate what I was doing up here. So I'm going to make a res object here, which is going to be the URL, but then as it's looping through, based off of what I have in this F string, I'm just saying that, hey, the order is going to equal whatever the letter is. So it's going to go 0, then A, then B, and so on and so forth. Making another request object. And with this one, I put this timeout parameter here. So originally when I tried to do this without the timeout parameter, I'm assuming that it was making the request so rapidly that I was getting kicked off of the site for parsing the information. So I just gave it a little bit of time between each HTTP request, just so it can be successful. You could probably put this down or go through another way of doing it, but for now, this is what I just found to be successful. Make the soup object again. And in this case, what I'm trying to do is for each letter, I want to start getting this pagination object. And just to show you like how I got this div class pagination, if I right click this, or just since I still have the inspect on, if I click the object here, you see that it's a part of the pagination. Whoops, where did it go? It's a part of the pagination div class. So you see the 1, the 2, and so forth, and then it goes all the way to the last one, which in this case is 26. And even if I go to another letter, you'll see that the last one here, in the case is 44, it's always the last element. So what I'm trying to do here is as it's going through the pages, I want to find the div class that's pagination. I want to do a find all on all of it. And then I want to just get the last page, which I'm saying that kind of doing what I was doing before. I'm getting all of the links that's in there, which I did here, and I'm getting the text of it, but I want to get the last element here, and I want to convert it into an integer, which in this case, when I was at 0, is going to be 26. All right, so that takes care of that outermost layer. The next layer, which is, so now when I'm on the individual page, the next layer that I'm going to be working with is going to be looking for going looping through the pages themselves. So here, I have the last page here, which in the case of 0 is going to be page 26. So I'm saying, hey, I want you to do the pages starting with page 1, and then I want you to go to, and the reason why I did this, because when you're doing a range loop, the stop is exclusive. So to only go to page 25 in the case of the 0 page, I just added a +1 just to make sure it's inclusive. And here, I'm taking the same order page that we had here, and then I'm just appending the page parameter. And just so you could see what I'm talking about, so right now in 0, there's nothing there. But then once it goes to 2, you see that it appends it there. And just so you can also see this, if it goes to 1, it still goes to the first page, whether you explicitly state it or not, but by default, it would start on the first page whenever you're going through the letters, as you can see here when I go to H. So going back to 0. So I'm just exclusively putting it there. Um, then kind of doing the same thing here, making the timeout a little bit less, but still building it out. And then here I want to start getting the pages. So again, I saw that by looking at the elements and trying to find where this lies, I see that it lies in the main content left div class. As you can see, it's highlighting all this information. And then for me to get to the pages, again, I see that it's the links that are here. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm looking at the main content left, and then I'm just scraping all of the links that has a class of script list item. And you can see here that the class script list item is here, in this case for the 500 days of summer, and it is a link. And I just wanted to put that there because just in case there was anything else there, I just wanted to explicitly state that that's what I was looking for. All right, so now that we're looping through the letters or doing the pages then by the letters, at the page part, we can now start doing the scrape itself for each movie. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in so you can see. So now at this level, now that we're on the individual pages, we're now scraping the movies. So here I'm just saying that, hey, for the movie in the movie list, which was up here, which contained all the script list items, which were the actual movies, I'm looping through, getting the text, and then there is a pattern here. So I wanted to take the years and the names, and the year objects are always the going to the fifth to last object all the way to the second to last object. So the way I did it here is I just used a slice. Now -1, again, the just the same way with ranges, the slices, the last number is exclusive. So technically, even though I said -1, which is saying the last object here, I'm just putting this here so it would actually take the second to last object. Or it seems to be working out that way. And here is just starting point, the -5. So, and I'm just converting that into an integer just so we can convert it into an integer. And then here it's going all the way, starting from the first object, going all the way to the second to last object. And then I'm just printing it out on the console so you can see it. And then I'm appending it to the movie list and year list that I created earlier. With all of this, so once it does the actual scraping, I want to actually make and I'll just copy that in. I want to actually convert it into a data frame. So first thing I'm doing here is I'm making a dictionary, which is going to contain the full like movie list, which will have all the movies in there, and the full year list, which will have all the years, and then converted it into a data frame. um, the data frame, the Panda object, which is a data frame, which is kind of like works the same way as like you would see like an Excel like table or SQL table, like a traditional SQL table would work. So that's like kind of the so like each of the columns represents the in this case would represent the name and the year, and each row represents an observation of those objects. And then I'm just placing it into a CSV file. So I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna run the code. So I'm just going to say, so this is scrape, so Python and scrape.py. It's taking a little second. All right, so now you start to see that the movies are being read through the console. I'm just gonna pause the video for a second while it's going through this. It takes about, give or take, like I want to say like 12 to 13 minutes right now. So for now, I'm just going to pause the video so you can see that the finished product. Okay, coming back from the recording, we see that the scrape was completed, and we have the movies here. All right, and that concludes the tutorial. Thank you for watching.